Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Colm McGuigan for IFLTV. Edward, tell me this, right? See, when you do your podcast, how do you source your guests?
Either a DM.
From you personally?
Yeah. On occasion. I hate asking people to come on my podcast because I get asked to go on about 12 podcasts a day. And no one wants to really go on a podcast, if I'm honest.
Shout out Bro Boxing, you used to go on that quite often.
Yeah, but that was just, I felt sorry for you at the time. And yeah, Ross in the office will do a lot. BBC will source guests for me. But I I spend most of my life being interviewed. So interviewing is a difficult skill. Thus the fact you're absolutely shit at it. By the way, you are wearing Represent Owners Club. Yeah?
Yeah.
I would like to say, and I don't, we've had this episode recently with Arn, right? You've seen with Umar, where Arn have been dressing me lately. I've been looking unbelievable in the gear. It's fantastic. Represent is another brand that I really like. And I bought a shitload of Represent gear and wore it in several viral training interviews or sessions. I ain't had a sausage, So if you're out there, Represent, send me the gear.
So I have the direct link there. I'll sort that out after this episode.
Really? That's actually quite impressive. Mate, the cargo trousers from Represent, the like shell material, unbelievable. See that hoodie that you want? What I'm after, Represent, is I'm after a powder blue hoodie with powder blue shorts. Nice pair of white socks and fresh trainers. And you would never know I was coming up for 45, would you?
Right, we'll start the boxing
What
chat.
I like pushing brands that I think produce great stuff. Great product. Arm. Represent. Me mate Tom Sweeney. Don't get paid by any of them. Get the odd box of gear or something like that. But I don't care. I like great brands.
Would you ever think of doing a brand yourself? You've got all this.
Yes. Or I would think about investing in one. I like it. I think it's fascinating. I love selling. But I like good product and Represent, Arm, all those kind of companies.
Interesting. That's a shout out to Represent. We'll sort that out after this.
Hopefully you get a free hoodie out of it.
I actually think, I'd be able to sort you out here. I've got a really good contact in Represent, so I think I'm going to be able to. It's a weird one. Let's start.
You've actually got notes.
I never have notes, don't I? I'm the only one that never has notes.
We're on about a 6-minute hard out time here, so
this is more like 60. There's so much to go through, Edward.
You've got all these pages of notes for me, but crack on, boy.
I actually never use notes too, so now you're putting me out there. Right, first one, purse bids won today. 3.3 million was the number. Why was it not?
3.9 million was the number. Jeez.
3.9 million. Heavily investing in boots. Happy to win the purse bids. Did you think you'd win it by so much?
It's frustrating, to be honest with you, because look, my good mate Louis de Cubas, aka your doppelganger, has been in New York with me all week. Obviously, you'll see a lot of fights that have been made tomorrow, and we couldn't reach a deal. And we ended up around the same number, a little bit less actually than the offer that was made, and they bid half of what we didn't have to go at purse bids, but we did, and there's sometimes various reasons for doing that. So Cody Crawley gets paid, Boots gets out. Let's get the fight made. So we've sent the contracts to Tom Brown this evening to get Mr. Crawley to sign. It's a good fight. I think it's 22-0 against 31-0, mandatory challenger. The traction that I've had for Boots, honestly, I said to someone the other day, it's almost like AJ traction across digital and social. Look at us put out today. Just said we won the purse bid. I don't know, 300 retweets. Like mega. This kid's been mega. He's been put on the sideline for too long. And when we come home to Philadelphia, I want to say so much the date and the venue, but I'm not going to do it yet. It's going to be mega. And I'm so excited about this man's future. I mean, you just heard me on the phone to him when you walked in. He's buzzing.
You've spoke to me before about these purse bids. Did you manipulate that purse bid today in order to win it?
How dare you? How dare you? No, at the end of the day, Boots has got a number in his contract. And there's no point us... Like, I could have bid less, but what's the point when Boots is getting paid anyway? And Cody Crawley, regardless of the fact that he's on 15%, he's not going to take... maybe his number in relation to the purse bid should have been 300 grand, 400 grand, but he's not going to take it. So you've got to pay him enough money to take the fight. Now he should take the fight because it's a lot of money.
So how much money is Cody Crawley being offered to fight Boots Ennis? Because
600 grand, basically. 575 grand, whatever the split is, 15%.
So why could you not work a deal with PBC this week? What was the
I
issue?
don't know. They wanted to go to purse bid.
Did you speak about any other fights with PBC? It's obviously good that you're...
I mean, look, tomorrow, as you know,
This won't go out until after the press conference.
I would put it out in the morning. You don't want to put this out after the press conference.
No, around the press conference time.
No, what you want to put out after the press conference is the interview from the press conference. Because what you're about to see tomorrow is going to blow your mind. So you want to get this out in the morning, and you want to post, and you want to say, in anticipation of a huge announcement in New York today, we caught up with Edward in his Central Park suite, and we spat the fat for 7 minutes. How long we got left? Anyway, so yes, I've been with Louis all. Look, I'm very, me and Louis, I'm sure we'll have a couple of little bits of beef. Not really. We work very well together. He's very good at what he does. And again, Riyadh season, the event tomorrow, another culmination of people coming together in boxing that you'd never actually expect them to. So I can't wait.
Is this an official co-promotion between Matchroom, PBC and TGB Promotions?
No, it's a Riyadh season event in association with everybody that's got fighters on. I mean, some people will be more involved in the event and helping out from a logistical point of view, but it is a Riyadh season event. And you have to be careful because some people might not want to be involved if it's a so-and-so event or a so-and-so event. So it's better this way. It's like the Riyadh season events in Saudi, they're Riyadh season events. Now, some people might be doing more on the ground. We're helping with a press conference tomorrow. Queensbury helped with a show in Riyadh, or someone else does. So, but it just works so much better when His Excellency will do the fights ultimately direct with the promoters to build the show that he wants, and he knows his boxing. It's not like this is some guy who's getting talked into fights. These fights have been discussed for a while, but what I will say again, what people have to understand, which is the most incredible thing about this whole movement, is that this card was basically delivered top to bottom. I mean, Madrimov Crawford was done last week, 48 hours. So the fights that you are going to see announced tomorrow were basically all made.
Give us some of them, because this is going to go out.
You've seen, at the end of the day, it must go out before the presser.
It will.
So I'm not going to give them to you, am I? Tip, right? But you've seen a lot of them, right? I still don't know how all these fights get leaked. People talk, and that's boxing. But some of them that have been reported, 100% correct. Some of them that have been reported, 100% not correct. And I'm not going to, when you go, well, tell me there now, Edward, what about Tim Zhu again? Is that the one that's correct? I'm not going to answer it. So don't even bother going there. Wait till tomorrow. What a show. August 3rd, Los Angeles.
We'll move on from tomorrow then, because you're not going to give me too much. But I will say something about tomorrow. Did you see Richardson Hitchens' comments tonight?
What were they?
So he said about Matchroom and PBC, he said that the reason why he signed with you was because you'll keep him so much more active than PBC. He said that he's made more money already with you than he ever did with PBC, and that he believes you will guide his career in the best way possible. Just your reaction to those comments from Richardson Hitchens?
Very nice. I mean, at the moment, as you've seen in the UK with Queensbury, off the back of August 3rd, we're all working together. So this is not about taking shots at anyone. Excuse me. This is about, working together. So I'm not going to take shots at PBC, anyone. All I'll say is that some people are better off with some people, and some people might be better off with other people. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think maybe PBC have done a better job for some people than I could do for that person. I think a good example of that is Demetrius Andrade. I mean, he got beat, but they definitely got him the bigger fight than I could have got him, Boots, we have more dates, so I think Boots is better if he wants to fight regularly. Yeah, I think we're a good place for him to be, but PBC are a good company. They've got major TV deals, they've got a history of major shows, so I can't, and I think some people they can do a better job for than we can, and vice versa. How diplomatic is that?
You've actually aged so much in the past 12 months. If I had have asked you that 12 months ago, you would have went on one.
Thank His Excellency, like everyone always does, because, I've still got a long way to go with PBC and all those guys, but I don't know, life is better when you don't argue, is it? I don't know, when you work together, I'm enjoying my work a lot more now. I'll be honest. I'm enjoying the Queensbury stuff. I mean, I'm loving the 5v5. I'm loving the input of His Excellency. And I said to him the other night, the energy that you're bringing to the sport, and even to me, I know it might sound a bit cringe, and people going, oh, here he goes. But I'm just telling you the truth. When you're around someone that makes things happen, it's so energising, because boxing's so draining. I could come up with a fight, you mention a fight, and it's like 6 months later we haven't made the fight, and it's like everyone's still going backwards and forwards on IFL, and he said this and he said that, and it's like a year's passed, and it's like, and you guys, the fans, are like, when are we going to see this fight? He makes it happen in a phone call. Do you know what I mean?
Why is that though?
Because he has the ability and generally the funds to make it happen, where it's not just about the business of a TV number or a gate number. They're making an investment in the sport that runs deeper than just breaking even on a specific night. And sometimes as a business, that's how we run our business. Not just me, but everybody. We make investments, but we're not prepared to lose consecutively the numbers that they might be to take a foothold or a position within sport. So the opportunities for fighters are incredible, and honestly, I'm really enjoying my work. And I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed my work, but there have been times where you bang your head against a wall, and I'm definitely enjoying my work more now than maybe I ever have. And that's great news for fans, because I've got the energy to keep going. But it's hard work. Hard work. It's heavy duty.
Let's talk about the weekend. Edward, I did speak to you briefly this weekend. Ryan Garcia said today he weighed 160 pounds on fight night. What did you make of that?
I think he might have been a bit heavier, but I don't think too far from the truth. Also, he's put on 17 pounds. Yeah, and what was Devin? Do we know? 165, 165. I don't know. I mean, he was definitely bigger than Devin. But a lot of people have asked me this week, because we kind of forget that he came in 3.5 pounds over. I mean, it hasn't really been mentioned that much, and people are talking about it now. The way I see it is this: the moment that you agree a new deal, like Ryan Garcia did not honour his contract, right? People say he cheated. I'm not sure he cheated. He just chose not to honour the terms of the agreement. Cheated? Not really. But anyway, once you do a new deal, right? So it's all out in the open. I've weighed 3.5 pounds. What are we going to do about it? Right, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do it. There are no excuses. I don't think you can look back at that point and go, yeah, well, he was 3.5 pounds over. So, of course he's going to win the fight. No, forget that. No excuses once the deal is done. So, it was he definitely had a physical advantage going into that fight in terms of size. But tough. everyone's big boys. They agreed to the fight, and that's that.
I heard Regis Progress say that he done the same as what Devin done to Regis. Would you agree with that sentiment?
Not really. I mean, I saw that from Regis. Was there a rehydration clause in that fight?
You're the man to ask.
No, I don't think there was. I didn't understand the comment. Yeah. As far as I understand, it was a £140 world title fight for the WBC. Both made weight, and you can rehydrate to what you want. But maybe I'll check that.
In terms of Ryan, he went on record today as saying that was his plan. This was calculated. This was done for months. Do you believe to be mental, to be crazy in the media? He said he had some of the stuff already pre-recorded months ago and has proof of that. Do you believe this was a stroke of genius and maybe a calculated risk that he took on the day to say, you know what, I am going to weigh in over?
I don't believe that it was a script. You've only got to look at the way that he's behaving now. It's not the same Ryan Garcia from a year or so ago. Now, listen, people can change. Doesn't mean he's crazy, but he's definitely behaving differently. I don't know. It's a bold play because some of the stuff that he said.
He said he was actually putting on twitches to make people think that he had went crazy.
Really? Yeah, I can see that because there was a few times I looked at him and he was going.
That's what he was.
I was thinking, but I think a lot of the things that he said, right or wrong. I mean, I don't think you'd say to put on. So my answer would be, so is all the things that you said are fake as well, or is it just the twitches? I don't know.
He said everything was an act.
Was it? What, even everything he said?
Yeah, he said there was times he was drinking. He said there was times he was drinking, and he did want to have a message for the children, but he said at times he was drinking and doing that. But he said like everything was calculated, and he kind of planned this all himself.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't believe that, but I do think he put some of it on, and I think in that respect, I think he definitely played with Devin's head a little bit, because I mean, even in the ring, you'd have to say that. Even in the ring before the fight, he was putting on an act then, because he didn't look like the Ryan Garcia that we know. But like I said, people change. I think maybe he's just found himself a little bit. Maybe he's just living a bit more freely now, and saying whatever he wants, doing whatever he wants. Because you know how he was behaving. He was behaving like that after the fight and on the plane and. So is he continuing it now? Is he still going with it, or has he stopped? I don't know. I'm a bit confused myself. But congratulations, because it was wild. I mean, I didn't think he could win the fight. So, and as I said to my mate Henry, you have to give Ryan Garcia respect. I know he didn't come in on weight, but forget that. Deal done. He won, and I didn't think he could win, and he did. So he deserves credit and he deserves respect.
Henry commented on our video from Saturday night. And he apologised to you. Did you see that?
Yeah, he doesn't. To be honest with you, Henry doesn't really have to apologise to me. It's a fair game, fair cop. I never disrespected his son in the build-up. I said he'll lose. I said I feel like he's behaving uncharacteristically. I think everybody agrees he was. But I like Ryan Garcia. I always have. I think he's an asset to the sport. I think he's a good fighter. So I'd never disrespect him. I just didn't think he would beat Devin Haney. But when it's your son, you're going to take certain things with more disrespect than others. So everything's a fair game. If he wants to walk past me and call me a piece of shit, I'm going to clap back at him. But it's okay. It's not like, I'm not phoning him up saying, I want an apology, Henry. That's just unfair for you to call me a piece of shit. I've been called a lot worse. And, I think maybe what I said, maybe he did think I was a piece of shit. But I respected the apology. Didn't have to apologise. I mean, I was sitting there, I had my leg up against the wall. It weren't like I was thinking this is just the worst thing that's ever happened. It was what it was. I said things before. He wanted to say something after. He called me a piece of shit. I called him a piece of shit. And then we made up. So, congratulations. I'm sure he's very proud that his son got the victory.
During our interview as well, I don't know if you noticed, but Oscar walked past and kind of screamed to say, yes, we won. He said something else, I don't know what. Did you have any interaction with Oscar much in the past?
Not really. You know, look, they don't like me. That's the reality. You know, they didn't really want me there. They didn't even really give me a seat.
Where did you sit?
I just sat in the inside the corral with the zone. But you know, everyone's different. You know, everyone treats people differently, and it doesn't matter. Like people say, "Oh, it's calmer. Come back to get you." Fucking honestly, don't worry about it. You want to treat me like that? I'm not gonna, look to get you back. And when Oscar comes to one of my shows, like he did for Bivol against Beterbiev, treat him like king. Treat him like the pound for pound legend that he is. You know what I mean? You know why? Because I have no fear of Oscar De La Hoya. He's not threatening to me. If people feel threatened, if people feel like they're up against it, if people feel like someone's good or better, they behave in a certain way. I look at Oscar De La Hoya and I think, I often look at Oscar De La Hoya and be like, why do you feel like that about me? You're a legend. You're Oscar De La Hoya. You're a pound for pound great. Like, look what you've achieved. I'm just a promoter from England, like winging it, you know. So why are you bothered about me? Like, I look at him as a great. I mean, one of the great fighters of all time. Now, look, he's never going to be as good a promoter as me, but that doesn't mean you can't be a great promoter. You're not ever going to talk like me. You're not going to be able to sell fights like me. You're not, but you're a legend. So we can all work together. And as you'll see tomorrow, hopefully, but there's a difference between saying you want to work together and actually wanting to work together. And the reality is, I'll just be brutally honest with you, he has got absolutely no interest in working with us at all. That's it. You know, and I think, like, you know, when I said we should do a 5v5, imagine Matchroom v Golden Boy. We've got so many great matchups. Zero interest. Absolutely zero interest. Do you know what I mean? And it's okay. It doesn't, I don't feel any emotion towards it. It's fine. But like I said, some people treat you certain ways, other people treat you other ways. I wish them the best of luck, and it's important that they keep delivering because we're on the same network. We're on the same platform. And I will always tell you the truth, in my opinion. I think they're doing good shows at the moment. They did Ryder Munguia, they did Haney Garcia at the weekend. They've done other shows. They're doing well. Like, congratulations. I'm pleased for you. I want you to do well because I want the zone to do well. But sometimes you're a team player and sometimes you're not. And, you know, hopefully we can continue to work together because I think we can do good things together.
I feel like you should send this to Auntie Dawn. You've become so diplomatic. I can't believe it.
I'm just telling you the truth. Like, I just see... I'm not going to start slagging off Oscar De La Hoya and what they've done or what they've said or how they behave, like whatever. Like, I think they're doing well. I think they've done some good shows. I hope they do continue to do well. I hope they do better. I hope they drive more subscribers to DAZN. I hope their fighters make good. You know, I looked at Haney Garcia and I said to someone today, what great event for boxing. Everyone's talking about boxing. That was a Golden Boy show. Like, I don't know what, you know, but I don't know. Like I said, sometimes you've got to just be content with yourself and believe in yourself and not worry about others.
Rumours of 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. What do you make of that?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Do you think that it reaches that number?
No.
Where do you think it'll land?
Doesn't matter. I know where it lands. You know, but people...
Close to that?
People will release the pay-per-view numbers, I'm sure. Some people will pretend they know. Some people might know. You'll never really know. That's the reality of the situation. But it was a big success, the show, you know, and I think it's a tremendous fight.
What does Devin Haney do next, in your opinion, Eddie? Do you look straight away for that rematch with Ryan Garcia, or...?
Yeah, I think Devin's got to really look at the weight. You know, you never really know the reality of how someone makes weight until you really sit down after the fight and talk to him about it. I was really looking forward to his move to 140 because at 135, I mean, it was just ridiculous. But maybe at 140 it's ridiculous now. Maybe he's got to move to 47. The Ryan Garcia rematch is huge. I like the fight with Sandor Martin now to defend his belt. Like, I think a lot of people would feel like that's a good fight now. Whereas if he would have destroyed Ryan Garcia, they would have said it was a mismatch. So I would like to see Devin defend his title and try and move towards unifications. He'll bounce back. That wasn't... I don't want to take anything away from Ryan Garcia, but that's poor from Devin on Saturday. He's so much better than that. But he got caught. He got hurt. He didn't really recover, but he showed a huge amount of heart, and I think he'll get respect to fight fans for a gutsy performance.
Have you spoke to him since?
Yes.
What was his thoughts since?
We haven't spoke that deeply about like the fight. I spoke to him a lot after the fight in the change room, and again last night. He's pretty, he's pretty sheepish, to be honest with you. He'll be devastated because he's a winner, and I said he's got to hurt. These are the moments it really has to hurt, because if it doesn't hurt, you might as well pack up.
In terms of Ryan Garcia, he was back and forth with Conor Benn. Is that a fight you'd like to make?
That's a big fight. I mean, especially if he's moving to 47. Conor's got huge profile. I think Ryan Garcia would fancy that fight. Obviously, we're still waiting, frustratingly. But once we know, love to make that fight. Ryan's in a great position. Huge star. He was a big star before, but his antics and, his performance and everything, his star has really grown. So he's going to call the shots now, pretty much across his division, really. Yeah. And, it's exciting to see what he does next.
In terms of Conor and what's next for him, any further update on that?
No, just waiting. We're ready to go, UK, USA, so hopefully won't be long now.
Edward, I interviewed Ben Shalom earlier. He's out here promoting Ben Whittaker. They were at the Yankees game.
He's what? Promoting Ben Whittaker?
Ben Whittaker, yeah, they were at the NBC studios and they were at the Yankees game. And
is he fighting over it?
He said that he hopes to fight here towards the end of the year.
That wasn't a facetious question. I didn't know what they were.
I asked him about the comments that Frank Smith made about not liking him and your comments about him telling Porky Pies. His response to that was that he's been brought up different. Maybe Frank's jealous of him because he runs his own business. Just your reaction to that?
He's been brought up different to Frank Smith, or what?
That word for word he just said, I've been brought up different and I run my own business, and feels that maybe Frank Smith's jealous.
I mean, to be honest with you, number one, Frank Smith is, in terms of levels of operators, I would say there is about 17 leagues between Ben and Frank Smith. But Frank has run stadium shows in 10 different countries. I mean, he's just on another level. In terms of his position within the sport, in terms of his financial wealth, I mean, Frank's on another level. But I don't know what the competition... I don't really get what...
He just said he found it bizarre that Frank said he didn't like him and that he feels that it's jealousy.
He probably finds it bizarre that Ben Shalom says he wants to work with everyone and then pulls out 5 consecutive purse bids. So that's probably where Frank's going with it. It doesn't really... again, I'm going to be Mr. Diplomatic in here. Really, the reality of the situation is this. Ben's done really well, right? Somehow got that Sky contract. Obviously it'll be up soon. See what happens. Frank's done amazingly well. Just 2 kids. I say kids. Ben's what, 25? He's a kid. Frank is 30. He's a little bit older. 2 kids doing well. Don't worry about it. I'm feeling in love tonight. Do you know what I mean? So, I've been there. And you better have ice running through your veins if you want to have longevity in this business. If you are emotional, if you take things personally, if you have trouble sleeping, if you can't keep a calm mind, if you don't live right, you're fucked long term. This game as it will in the ring, will chew you up and spit you out like a piece of worthless gum on the pavement. So I wish everybody in it the best of luck. Because you know what, Colm, my old son? I'll come through the other side. I've been there. It's been on top for me. Legal errors, court cases, pressure, criticism, fights falling through, fighters wanting to leave me. I've done it all. And now, I'm out the other side. And I'm watching all these little kids running around and, I think it's great. Frank Smith, a little bit edgy sometimes. He's a bit moody sometimes. He's under a bit of pressure. Ben Shalom, don't want to do interviews. He's sweating up. He's like, well, I've been through that stage. So I just wish him the best of luck, honestly. They're both doing well, But you have to understand, Frank Smith is very, very good. Very good. That'll be the old room service winks, I think. Tell them 10 minutes and they can clean the room. Thank you.
How the other half live, Edward?
Well, not really. Unfortunately, as you see, my breakfast is over there. And I've been in and out all day doing interviews, and I keep saying, could you come back in 10 minutes? And that started about 9 o'clock this morning. So
I'll only ask
so that's
him.
it. So, I've never met Ben. I don't.
Do you want to meet him in New York while he's here?
No. I've got a press conference tomorrow for the biggest show the world's ever seen, with all due respect, and I'm flying to Liverpool.
The biggest show the world has ever seen?
I think so.
You bantering me?
I think from top to bottom, the best card America has ever seen.
So change from the world to America, but we'll leave that one there. I want to get your
Maybe
thoughts.
the best card the world's ever seen. That could be the 5v5, and Biv, I'll bet to Biv.
Do you know what? I didn't even get to check here the questions that I had for you because we went on so long. But my last question is, Riyadh, Billam-Smith, Selhurst Park. Your thoughts?
Why are you giggling?
I'm giggling because of your face. You're like...
Oh, it's a good fight, isn't it? I mean, look, I think, again, you can't criticise. You get a lot of people, again, I don't know what's the matter with me lately, but it's not good for your channel. Today, I probably had 20 messages from people going, Billam-Smith, Riyadh, Selhurst Park, have you seen it? Like, emoji. Good luck to him.
Do you not actually think it's a good... Selhurst Park's a decent size. What is it, 25,000? 20,000?
The problem is, it's the fan bases of the individuals. Like Riyadh, who I think is great, looks great, has never been a ticket, so he doesn't have a fan base. And Chris Billam-Smith has good support down in Bournemouth. I'm sure many will travel. But good luck, who cares? It's a good day out, isn't it? Even if it doesn't work and you sell 10,000, they can comp some tickets and whatever they do and stuff like that. I don't think it's a bad thing for boxing. I think it's a good thing for boxing. I don't feel like we should just go to Wembley Arena or they should just go to, So I don't mind. Do I think it's a stadium fight? No, I don't. But it doesn't mean they can't do it in a stadium. And hopefully, is it pay-per-view? No.
I'm not too sure.
No. Well, I don't. I mean, I heard it was going to be, but I couldn't believe it when I heard it, so I presume it's not. I don't think there was any pay-per-view box office stuff, but good luck. Again, sorry to be so, there's a lot of negativity in boxing. But the mad thing is, people want that to fall on its arse.
Do you truly think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I've been told many a time. I don't know, but I think it just comes down to, Colm, honestly, a little life lesson. When you're comfortable in yourself, I don't think you get you just say, good luck, mate. Don't sit there and you go, oh, I hope that flops. Oh, it'll be hilarious if it only sells 6,000 tickets. Because what's that? It's bad vibes, isn't it? Not karma. I'm not really a karma believer, but I don't know. I'd rather say, that's a bit mental, but well done for having a go. Go on, I hope it does all right. I hope it works for you. But I think it's it's a really good Saturday night fight night. It is. So wherever it is, good luck. I like Chris Billam-Smith. I think he's a very nice man. I like Richard. I don't know him. Obviously I work with Chris a bit more. Done a few fights with Richard. It's a good fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I know it's not a fight that's going to entice the casuals or whatever they want to call them these days, but in boxing, it's a good Saturday night fight night. So well done. Wherever it is, best of luck.
Edward, we'll leave it there. We'll catch up tomorrow at the press conference. Appreciate it, mate. The press conference was the best fight card ever in the world. Stated from you. Well, you said in the world.
Best fight card I've ever seen top to bottom in the US, at least.
Cheers, Edward.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.